The question is what? Where some people ask where God was in Simchat Torah or in Shmini Atzeret. So the answer is he was there. Now, he was there is a difficult answer because why it turns out to be rape and murder and bloodshed with the presence of what should be the joyfulness of Torah, or the joyfulness of third. So it means that there is a consecrated light for what is called the house or spirit of Israel. And if they're not sort of there, it's like the deluge. It's like Mabul.
Right.
It's because there's no way that that the vessel of the will to receive can translate it differently. Okay, so the question is now, as within the whole issue of creation, the whole issue of creation actually repeats itself when we meet the fact that we need to conquer Israel. Why do we need to conquer it? If you wanted to give us a land, give us a land and let's be happy with it. Why it need to be a land that was belonging, or actually those will of to receive to oneself were sure that it belongs to them. Why actually we need to go through conquering? So this is the same question about why actually the will to receive cannot dominate the purpose of creation. Why we need to conquer it in order to change it. This is the same question.
I understood that the conquering of the other nations was not colonialism, but was conquering those who were not in relationship with the higher.
Yeah, so exactly, this is why we needed to go, Israel need to go into a territory which is already occupied in order to transform it, not to annihilate it.
Right,
but
right.
as what we need to do with the will to receive to oneself. So, but if there is no recognition and understanding of the value and the identity of what Israel should bring, what we get is the result of our reality. So the only answer is study, meaning get out of your ignorance. Get out. This is the edict of Sukkot. Get out of everything that you inhabit as a perception of what is right and what is wrong, of what is actually going on, of how to understand history, how to understand yourself, and how to understand the purpose of it all. So it's a kick.
Right. I hear that. And I'm also very struck today by the relationship between Miknehu and Cain, and how Cain is the one that is remembered. Havel less so. Cain is us. And
Cain is us, but we have, let's say, if Hevel was the birth of Hevel was to be a brother to Cain.
Yes, the language is very clear.
Yeah, which is clear before he's Hevel, he's his brother. Yeah, in the order thing, meaning brother, meaning he needed to teach Cain how to bring everything to one, because and Dalet was in Cain, which is Malchut, which is Malchut of Man'ula, which is the door to, or the possibility, or the will to receive, and Ach, which means the brotherhood or the union should actually bring it together. Both of them failed. Okay, so it starts to reveal itself slowly through Noach, which he failed as well. Because he wasn't acting as a brother. He wasn't asking for. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it succeeded. At last, it succeeded with Moses. Yeah, because Moshe is actually a transmigration of heaven. a successful transmigration. This is what the Zohar is saying.
And does the Rabbah say that Moses succeeds because he pleads on behalf of Miriam?
This is one of not only he plead because for Miriam, he pleaded for all Israel.
Throughout
He's pleading. Yes. His state is pleading for others.
Yes.
In order to gather them into a purpose, into an ability to actually be a place where the name of the higher can reveal itself. It's a question of translation, what the translator understood from the word Sukkah. So, for example, in the translation of the Zohar, Tabernacle of Peace, for example, in Bereshit, this is how Sukkah was translated. Okay, but actually, there is no other word but Sukkah. And this is what I'm saying. It's to understand it from the first time it was used. It was not. It's in Bereshit, but it has to do with Yaakov. Okay, I'm going to say something that is really a thought or a new thing that appeared. Okay, Yaakov is building the first sukkah. He's going to a place that is there's two issues in one verse in Yaakov. So first to locate you, okay. So we're going into Bereshit, but actually within Torah, within Mikra, okay. And we're going to to Vaishlach, okay. Vaishlach is actually we are in it's the portion of Vaishlach 33, and the verse is 15. Okay. No, even 14. So it's after the meeting of Esav and Yaakov. Okay. There is actually there is a proposal from Esav. Esav is saying to Yaakov, let's rule the world together. Let's go together. And actually Yaakov is rejecting gently the offer to rule together. Okay. He's saying, no, you go and rule the world as it is. You go and rule the corporeal world, the history, till there will be enough power within the mandate that was given to me to grow the spiritual presence to such an extent that it could be that this will rule the world. But till then, and this is what is actually happening in the world as a whole and in each and every one of us. First, the will to receive is dominating and growing and ruling our days. Okay. Only then something is, if at all, it is within the plan of the higher, something is awakened in us while there is a full maturity of a self in us, full maturity of the will to receive. But listening to what actually Yaakov is saying, okay. So Esav is going on his way, is going out to his way, and he's going to Seira. I mean, he's going to all the tribulation and let's say the reality of the history of the will to receive to oneself. Okay, and now Yaakov is journeying. First, we see that that journey is connected to Sukkot. It's a place. Suddenly, it's called a place that is called Sukkot. He's moving towards in Hebrew, Sukkot, it means towards Sukkot, meaning towards the understanding of this continuality of creation, meaning that it is a journey that is temporal in order to sort of create or allow the creation of um, of the maturity of spirit. Okay, so he's moving towards that, and then he's building for himself. He's building home or a house, and now this is a very dodgy word to understand. It's in Hebrew. It's just mikneu. Mikneu, it's the cattle. It's
Livestock, yeah.
Yeah, livestock, but mostly cattle. Okay. For his cattle, he did Sukkot. And then, therefore, he called this place Sukkot, meaning it was before, because he did something, he was able to name it Sukkot. So he moved towards something that has already a name, and he did something on the way to actually be able to call it Sukkot. It's a bit of a paradox, yeah? But it actually has to do with it's three states. The state of it's already there, but within creation, within the structure, we need to actually grow the cattle. Now, of course, it's not a cattle. Now we have to go and to see what actually the origin of this mikneh in Hebrew. First, in Hebrew, mikneh is something that I purchase, kana. Something that I'm able to attain by exchanging something, meaning some effort, or it doesn't matter if it's money, it means some yearning or some longing. So there is an exchange of something. I need to buy it. I need to purchase it. Okay. So he's building the idea of a structure in order to be able to purchase something. Now, actually, what I'm trying to suggest that he's growing something that was in the beginning the dominion of Cain. Actually, he's growing what will be the spirit. It is the spirit, but that which was given to Cain, he failed, and he failed through murdering Hevel, but he failed, and the whole history was sorted out in order to see what kind of people, of consciousness can grow this part of Cain that he could not. Meaning, what could transform really this part of the will to receive to oneself into a dress, a garment for the spirit. So we need to grow that. This is what we can grow within Sukkah. Okay. Now, in order to sort of support what I'm saying, okay, if you go to paragraph 4 in Bereshit, verse Aleph, verse 1.
The menu.
Yeah, in the beginning, Bereshit, Genesis, portion, yeah, it's chapter 4, verse 1. So, and Adam knew Chava, Eve, his wife, and she was pregnant, and she gave birth to Cain, and she's naming him. Now, I purchased person, or I purchased actually a spiritual part, which is Ish, or a power of an angel. I purchased that, yeah, from Havaya. So the sorting out, meaning this is actually what was bought for him, for his spirit, which failed and therefore became something that Yaakov took actually responsibility for. Okay? So this is actually when Sukkah is being activated. Sukkah is being activated only when we're trying to allow the spirit to grow and to actually fulfill its mission, its duty. Okay?
So it becomes a collection point for middle line.
Yes, it means that Sukkah is in ourselves and in creation is the possibility to realize this structure of growing or this greenhouse, a place that it's possible to, and why one of the things that makes it possible to grow spirit is the understanding that the purpose of creation, the whole purpose of creation is to grow that. It is in itself a structure that was aimed and designed to allow this growth.
And this is why the tree of life grows inside the heart as the middle line, as more of it is collected and reformed over time so that
So it's the opposite. This is why the tree of knowing good and bad is actually need to join the tree of life as a middle line in itself. So we will be able to choose good. So it will not be a choice anymore. Okay. But this is the structure of creation as a whole. Now, there are many parts and many levels to this, to the understanding or to be able to actualize the structure like Yaakov is doing. So he's moving from state Aleph or state A of creation, meaning that this is the name of it. Name is a purpose. This is what it is for. Now he's sort of creating within his life and the structure of his family, the ability of this to actually actualize itself in order to actually return it as a third state with the full name and actuality with the participation of our consciousness. So this is the 3 Sukkot that we have in one verse. Okay.
And that means throughout the Torah portions, there's different aspects of will to receive to oneself that are brought back in. So there's like the descriptions of, there's different metals that are brought in and all. All of that is started basically with this in this piece.
Yeah. I want to say something which is maybe it's the time. Not all verse and chapters of Torah are the same. They have different presence, and the highest presence are in Bereshit and Shmot, and then in Dvarim, because it's the collective state of it.
And highest presence means?
That while studying it, the power of change is the higher amperage.
Coercing?
Voltage, I mean. Yeah.
It's a lot.
So they are different. So this is why it's very important to the study of the Kabbalistic study is very much revolving. Even when we go to Vayikra Bamidbar, certainly Dvarim is revolving around it because it has the nature. We're coming back to Sukkot because in Sukkot actually there is what we call Simchat Torah, meaning being the joy of Torah, we celebrate it. Actually, it's a question why we do not celebrate it in Shavuot, where the first Torah was given. Why we're celebrating it now, meaning in Sukkot. So only within this structure you actually can understand. And the beginning of reading, which makes us more open to allow the penetration of Torah into ourselves. So it's the joy of it in us, being able to penetrate us within this structure of Sukkah that hopefully will be like Yaakov.